Hey there, how's it going? How's everyone doing, feeling, being? So, I wanted to take some time to share a story with you about experience I had when I was a teenager. Still fairly pretty young. Um, it's a story that I don't think even my mom is aware of. A story where I dealt with some racism, um, also in correlation with the police. I was roughly about 16, maybe a little younger. Maybe I just turned 16. I remember I was in my English class, junior year for sure. I got pulled out of my class and asked to go to the dean's office, one of many on campus, I believe. I'd never been in this office before. I think this office was more specific to problematic uh, lawbreakers, uh, because I quickly realized that I was being questioned and accused of possibly committing a crime at a local store uh, in town. I just remember being really nervous, really scared because I'd never been in trouble in that way before ever. I mean, I got a few bad grades freshman and sophomore year, like who didn't? Struggling to find myself and stuff. But this was me, like, completely caught off guard. I had definitely seen it and experienced it all throughout my youth and up until now. Um, but I felt very profiled in an instant as I realized that I was being compared to another student that I looked nothing like. Um, it's not the same height, not the same build. The person was significantly taller than me, was a senior, was an adult, technically, in the eyes of the law. And here I am, barely about to be 16. Um, and I'm being pulled out of class and accused of this. An officer came in. And before I could even really say who I was or show my student ID, they never really asked me, like, my name. They just kind of assumed that I fit this profile. They didn't even verify, like, any information until they took me physically off campus. I was put in the back of a squad car, driven up the street to the local Victorville Police Department. I was sat down in a waiting room area. I saw the person who saw the person who did it, or the people who did it. I knew this person, luckily. They recognized me right away and was like, "This isn't the person I described to you. I'm not sure why you think it was this person." Um, the person that they accused had a very different hairstyle than me. Was a darker pigment than me. Not that that makes a difference. Um, the officer who detained me was also African American, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can be profiled by anyone. The other officers just kind of assumed that, I was a troublemaker, just looking at me. It was a very unnerving experience, and when it was all said and done, and they obviously realized I had nothing to do with what happened, didn't know anyone affiliated with what happened, they kind of just, laughed it off as a mistake, but didn't own up to it. I rode back in the front of the police officer's car, and the only response I got was that they were sorry for, interrupting my day. Basically, just try to shift the conversation as if nothing wrong happened. And there's so many terrible ways that situation could have gone. And the fact that I was a minor, underage, no permission was given or granted by an adult. It's like stuff like that shouldn't happen. Stuff like what's happening every day, every year, every second sometimes should not keep going on. So we have to all speak up. We all have to stand up and share our experiences and share our voices.